Imagine pouring your heart, soul, and, well, a lot of money. We're talking over $100,000 into your lifelong passion project, your debut album.
Hmm.
You dedicate years to it, finally gets released, starts getting traction, hundreds of thousands of streams, and then boom, a year and a half later, the very platform it's on just deletes it.
Gone. Completely wiped.
Exactly. Today, we're taking a deep dive into this pretty mind-boggling situation. It's a creator's cautionary tale, really, and it shines a light on some important stuff about the music industry today.
Yeah, this isn't just, about one deleted album. It's a real window into the independent music scene, which can be pretty opaque.
Yeah.
And the costs involved.
Right. Costs people don't even think about.
And the challenges artists face with streaming services, which can be, well, devastating sometimes. Our mission today is to unpack this artist's story, her dream, the grit, the harsh realities. We want to get at why this matters, for anyone who makes art or even just listens to it.
We'll be following the story of an artist called Kara. She laid it all out, the huge expenses, the roadblocks with social media, the really stark financial truth about music streaming.
And you're going to hear some specific numbers, some hurdles that honestly might change how you think about what it takes to be an independent artist now.
Yeah.
It's quite the journey behind the music you hear.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning with Kara. This wasn't just a hobby for her. She dedicated her whole life to being a professional artist, dance, music, acting, even got a degree in music business.
Yeah, what really jumps out is the early hustle, moving to LA, working like regular job. I think she mentioned Jersey Mike's,
Yep. In North Hollywood.
right? All while doing music sessions daily. That's intense. She even found an old journal saying she made, what was it, $2,400 from music her first year in LA?
$2,400 for a whole year.
That really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? The whole overnight success myth.
Totally. So initially, she got by singing and writing on EDM tracks, as a featured artist for DJs. She said it had the lowest barrier to entry.
Which makes sense. It gave her access to production studios.
Exactly. But she really wanted to make her own music, be the main artist, show her own style, her voice.
And that highlights a really common struggle, right? You have to kind of compromise your vision sometimes just to pay the bills or get access to the tools you need. She felt she didn't have much control because she wasn't producing yet.
Yeah, she wished she'd learned production earlier, to have more say.
It's that classic thing for creatives. How do you fund the dream while you're still building the skills?
It's tough. But she kept grinding. After about 7 years, reinvesting money from DJ features, selling vocal sample packs online, which is pretty smart.
Diversifying.
She landed her first solo release, No Evil. Then came Underwater, which became her biggest solo track. So things were looking up.
Okay, but here's where things start getting tricky. And honestly, a bit alarming for indie artists. For Underwater, she signed with an independent distribution company.
Standard stuff, you'd think. They collect the royalties from streams, YouTube, pay you your share?
That was the plan. They were supposed to collect master royalties, the money for the recording itself. Simple, right?
Apparently not. Instead, she finds out they're collecting all the revenue from her entire YouTube channel, not just for that one song.
Wow. Without permission.
Totally. And when she called them out on it, silence. And then they just pulled her song, took Underwater completely off all streaming platforms, no warning.
That's incredible. Just yanked it.
Yep.
It really makes you ask, what power do independent artists actually have when a distributor does something like that? It feels so arbitrary.
She panicked, obviously. She ended up quickly re-releasing it using a different service, DrowKid, basically just an emergency move to get it back online fast.
But that whole experience, that lack of control, it kind of foreshadows what happened later, doesn't it? It shows how vulnerable artists can be in that distribution chain.
Definitely. It screams, vet your partners carefully, but how do you even protect yourself against that kind of thing? It's tough. So, okay, she's been grinding for years, dealt with that distribution nightmare, but then she finds a new way to actually fund her dream album, content creation.
Right, this is such a key pivot we see with artists now.
Mm.
She got strategic with YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, built an audience, got brand sponsorships, made money from her website selling those sample packs and things.
She basically realized nobody's just going to pay me to write songs anymore. That old model, at least for independence, is kind of gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creating consistent content, especially on YouTube, became her main income. That's what let her afford to finally make her debut album. It's almost like being an entrepreneur first, artist second in terms of funding.
Yeah, she talked about the dual hustle, making music and making content about making music or just other content to pay for the music. All while, life happens, getting married, buying a house, running 2 YouTube channels.
Sounds exhausting.
No kidding. But finally, the album, Beauty and the Boss, was actually going to happen. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. Making the album. We mentioned over $100,000. Where does that kind of money actually go for an independent project?
This breakdown she provided is super insightful. First off, legal fees. Even working with friends. She needed formal agreements. 12 different ones for this album.
12. Wow.
Yeah. Covering master rights, publishing splits, that's who gets paid for the songwriting. Cost her between $8,000 and $12,000 just for the lawyer.
Just for paperwork.
Pretty much. Now, if you did everything solo, wrote and produced it all yourself, maybe you skip some of that. But collaboration needs contracts.
Okay, what's next after legal?
Mixing. Getting the tracks to sound professional. For pop and rap, she says top engineers charge like $2,000 to $4,000 per song.
Per song. Even if it's just an album track, not a single.
Yep. So 12 songs.
Yeah.
You do the math. That's a huge chunk right there. She felt it was worth it for the quality, though. Learned a lot, too.
Okay, mixing,
Yeah.
then mastering.
Right, mastering. That's the final polish.
Yep.
Costs maybe $300 to $800 per song. But wait, it's not just one master per song.
Oh.
You need the main version, an instrumental, an a cappella, maybe a clean version for radio. And each of those extra versions often costs more. It adds up fast.
Jeez. Okay, so that's the audio side. What about visuals? Albums need art, photos.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
A pro photo shoot in LA. She said $1,000 to $3,000 for just a few hours in a studio. And that doesn't include hair, makeup, wardrobe.
And then if you want to use those photos for like merch or a billboard.
Extra fees.
Yeah.
Commercial licensing. Could be hundreds, even thousands more, depending on the usage. It's a whole separate business negotiation just for the photos.
Okay, this is already a lot. But the videos, that sounded like a massive undertaking.
Oh, it was huge. Because each song had a different vibe, she decided to shoot these mini vertical visualizers for Spotify.
Yeah.
You know, those short lipping clips?
Yeah, the canvases.
Right. One for each of the 12 songs, plus a full official music video for one track. Nice cap. So they hired a proper film crew.
A full crew.
Director, producer, camera op, set design, lighting, wardrobe, hair, makeup, the works. Rented a studio, a big white cyc wall they could redress 12 times, shot for 4 days straight.
4 days? That sounds expensive.
She said that shoot alone cost $35,000 to $40,000.
Wow. For essentially background visuals on Spotify and one music video.
Yep, and that's before editing.
Yeah.
Then you hire an editor, a colorist, working in-house, maybe $200 to $600 a day, going through all that footage for 12 visualizers plus the main video. That adds thousands more.
It really puts into perspective what goes into even seemingly simple things we see on these platforms.
It really does. Now, to be fair, she did point out that some of the gear they bought, like cameras and lights, also helped her YouTube channel, which was making money.
Okay, so there is some strategic overlap. Smart.
Yeah, trying to make the investment work double duty. Shows that entrepreneurial mindset again.
So, okay. The massive investment is made. Time, money, blood, sweat, tears. The album's ready. March 2024 release date. Smooth sailing from here, right?
Not quite. The release itself was plagued with problems right away. Platform issues.
What happened first?
Spotify. Remember those expensive video canvases? 10 out of the 12 were just missing for the first week or two. Just showed the static album art.
After spending all that money specifically for them.
Exactly. A $40,000 video investment, and the main visual element wasn't working during the crucial launch window. Super frustrating.
Gosh, what else?
Then came TikTok. She posts her first video promoting the album, singing her favorite track, and it gets muted. Copyright claim.
On her own song. How does that even happen?
Get this. A co-writer on the album was signed to a major publisher that was in a legal fight with TikTok. So because of that association, her music got caught in the crossfire and blocked. For 6 months.
That is absolutely wild. She had nothing to do with the lawsuit.
Nope. Just collateral damage. And it basically nuked her main promotion tool, TikTok, for half a year.
Yeah.
How is an indie artist supposed to navigate that?
You can't. It's completely out of your control. So TikTok was out. What about other platforms?
Well, YouTube wasn't great for driving Spotify streams either. Videos with commercial music don't get paid through AdSense, the normal YouTube ads.
Right. The money comes through the distributor as audio royalties, which are tiny.
Exactly, and slower. So using YouTube to promote Spotify became kind of a financial dead end for her. It just didn't make sense money-wise.
Okay, so Spotify had glitches, TikTok had legal blocks, YouTube wasn't viable financially. Instagram?
Instagram had discovery problems.
Mm.
Her songs were apparently almost impossible for fans to find in the music library to use in their stories or reels.
Another roadblock.
Yeah, so even though it didn't mute the audio, if people can't find the music, they can't use it, they can't help spread it. It just felt like every major platform had some kind of issue.
Man. Amidst all that chaos, though, she did mention one positive video experience.
Yeah, the video for her song Peak, she decided to do it on YouTube with zero expectation of making money from it.
Yeah.
Hired a smaller team, dancers, choreographer, assistants, used a free outdoor location, used her own gear.
More controlled, smaller scale.
Right. Cost about $7,000, $8,000. She edited it herself, and she said it was her favorite and most affordable shoot. A little creative win in the middle of all the platform madness.
Okay, so fast forward about a year. The album's out, despite the rocky launch. It's been growing slowly, got around 200,000 streams, and then the final blow lands.
Yeah. She noticed this sudden spike in streams for one song, Work. Got excited, thought maybe it was finally taking off.
And
Then the email from Spotify arrives. Artificial streaming flagged.
oh no.
And just like that, her releases containing those tracks, basically the entire album, were removed from Spotify. Gone.
Her whole 12-song album just vanished, wiped clean.
Turned into a 0-song album overnight.
Yeah.
She's adamant she never bought fake streams, never used bots, nothing like that.
So what does she think happened?
Her theory is someone else, maybe some random person trying to boost a playlist, added her song and then botted that playlist. And she, along with maybe other innocent artists on the list, got flagged as collateral damage.
So punished for something potentially someone else did entirely.
That's her belief.
Yeah.
And it points to a huge potential flaw in the system, right? Innocent artists getting caught in the net. She even speculated maybe major labels are somehow involved, making it harder for indies. Who knows? But the system seems broken.
Well, playing devil's advocate for a second, Spotify is fighting a massive battle against actual fraud, right? Bot farms, fake artists. Could this just be an imperfect system trying its best, and sometimes legit artists get caught?
That's definitely a possibility. It's a huge volume problem for them. But the impact on the real artist is devastating, regardless of intent. She made the point, it feels like there's more protection for AI music or fake stuff than for actual human artists right now, which feels backwards.
Yeah, that's a harsh reality, especially when you compare it to YouTube trying to demonetize low-effort AI channels. It feels like the platforms have different priorities, maybe.
It certainly seems that way sometimes. The independent artist is definitely stuck in a tough spot.
Okay, so the ultimate question then. After investing over $100,000, enduring all these platform nightmares, the album getting deleted, what was the actual financial return on this thing? Let's talk numbers.
Right, the bottom line. And it's pretty stark. From her distributor, TroKid, covering all streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, etc., for over 1.18 million streams total, plus 12 actual album sales.
Okay, over 1 million streams sounds like a lot.
Her total master royalties, $1,210.86.
Wait, $1,200 for over 1 million streams?
$1,210.86.
Yeah.
And remember, that then had to be split with the producers.
It's incredibly low for a year and a half's worth of streams.
It's bleak. Now, what about publishing? The songwriting side. She collected through BMI.
That's the performance rights organization.
Yep. Even with one song, Work, getting placed on a popular TV show, a sync placement.
Which usually pays better.
You think. Her total publishing earnings over 8 quarters, that's 2 years, was $347.56.
$350 for 2 years, including a TV sync.
For her share, yes. Now, that amount gets multiplied by how many writers were on each track, maybe 3 or 4, for the total publishing payout per song. But her individual slice was tiny.
Wow.
She gave some examples that are just, wow. Her song Big Butt earned her 69 cents.
69 cents total.
Yep. Another one, New, earned 5 cents.
5 pennies.
It really hammers home how little individual artists make per stream, even with decent numbers over time. The disconnect between listens and income is vast.
Hearing those numbers, it makes me rethink my own streaming habits. Millions of streams translating to pocket change. It's almost insulting.
It really lays it bare. Now, she did get one other small sync placement for Work, which paid $2,000, but that also had to be split 3 ways.
Okay, so adding it all up. Masters, publishing, the syncs. What's the grand total revenue for this $100,000 plus album?
A whopping $4,611.10.
$4,600 from a $100,000 investment.
Yep. So from an artistic view, she said, hey, it was an epic journey, learned a lot, expressed herself. Great.
But financial.
From an accountant's perspective, absolutely not worth it. She literally said it was like setting money on fire. The takeaway is crystal clear. For an indie artist, direct streaming revenue alone cannot justify that level of investment. It's just not a viable business model.
So despite this huge disappointment, this financial crater, basically, she said
Yeah.
this whole album disaster actually forced a change. It became a catalyst.
Yeah, it pushed her to totally rethink her business. She made a firm decision. No more investing her time, energy, money, creativity into music streaming services and distributors she feels aren't treating artists fairly.
So what's the alternative? Where is she focusing now?
YouTube,
Oh.
100%. She's putting all her resources there.
Why YouTube specifically?
She listed several reasons. Fairer pay through AdSense and brand deals. Actual human customer service when things go wrong. Audience growth potential. Making a living wage. Peace of mind. And, crucially, full control over her profile and her music.
Control being the key word after everything she went through.
Exactly. She contrasted it directly with all the issues she faced on streaming platforms. It sounds like she found a space that feels more like a partnership, less like she's just disposable data.
It's a powerful shift. Building that direct connection, monetizing through different streams like ads and brand deals, selling her own stuff. It's a different ecosystem.
It really is. And it brings up a big question. She posed it to the audience, really. Why should artists keep pouring everything into platforms that, frankly, don't seem to value them or pay them adequately?
It's a fair question.
She suggests maybe adapting your art for a platform like YouTube, becoming more of a video creator who incorporates music, might actually lead to more success, better pay, brand deals, and avoids the systemic issues of the current streaming model.
And that's her path now. She's inviting fans to find her music on YouTube, where she feels she's paid fairly as a creator, and supporting her directly via her website, sample packs, courses, all that.
It's a business model born from a pretty brutal experience, but it shows incredible adaptability, finding a way forward when the main road collapsed.
What an absolutely incredible story. And yeah, sobering is the right word. This deep dive into Kara's experience really shows the immense effort, the huge financial risks, and the systemic hurdles indie artists are up against.
Yeah, it's not just about the money, is it? It's the fight for control, for fair pay, even just for the basic ability to keep your work available. It really makes you look past those endless music libraries and ask, which platforms are actually supporting the people making the music?
Her move to YouTube is definitely a powerful statement. Finding agency when the system feels rigged against you. It's a reminder that artists do have options, maybe just not the ones we always think of first. And supporting them means understanding how they need to be supported now.
So it leaves us thinking, right? For you listening, does this change how you view music streaming, how you support artists you love? In this world built to amplify everything, are we really paying attention to whether the platforms themselves are championing the creators or just hosting them?
Definitely food for thought. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope hearing Kara's story has given you a new perspective on the music industry and the real human effort behind the songs in your playlist.